So now when we talk about putting, again, we're gonna start understanding how to control the handle, but our visuals are gonna change. The way I like to set up my putting practice is I like to start 5, 10, 20, and 40 feet. So we have different putts, different lengths, and really working on speed control, matching up my start line to the speed, to the entry line. And this is the process I want you to go through. The first step, we'll start at the 5-footer. I'm actually going to an old cup. I'm not using a hole. And the reason I like this is because now we get to see what the capture speed is. So the ball falls on the cup, we don't really know what happens. The ball goes over this cup, we know we would have made it because we hit the line, but we also got to see what this capture speed is as it rolls past the cup. So what I've done here is I put a shaft about 2 feet behind the cup. So right about 2 feet, just a little bit less than 2 feet. I want to use this because that's going to influence my speed. I always want to have enough speed that gets it past the cup and stops it right around just short of that shaft or right at the shaft. I always want that capture speed that's going to get it rolling over the grass and get it somewhat to the cup, but obviously not blasted by each time. But I think that's really important for mechanics, having that external target. So I'm always going to get behind the ball. I see where I want the ball to stop, so that helps me kind of visualize the speed. And now I'm really gonna look and see what do I think the entry line should be based on that speed. If the ball's gonna roll out past the cup and stop at that shaft, at what entry line relative to the cup and my ball do I think it should go in? So I match that up, I see that entry line, and now I'm gonna come back behind the golf ball and start to match up a start line, a speed that all marries together. Okay, it's gonna hit that entry line, and if it does, it hits that entry line, rolls out and stops by that shaft. So now I start to connect the dots. You know, my ball, the start line, the entry line, and ultimately the speed. Once I have those dots connected in that visual, I'm gonna work now, start to match up the handle travel to create that. Now I'm putting, there's not much handle travel. You see there's not a lot of up and down, there's not much twist to the face. It's really, I'm just kind of rocking the club side to side. There's a little bit of hinge unhinged, there's a slight up and down, but they're very little. So I'm gonna sit here, match up the speed I think I need to hit that entry line, match those up, execute this, hit the putt, okay, pretty good. Now I'm gonna work back 10 feet. Same idea. I'm gonna go through this process, see the entry line first, match up that, see the speed that I go in, now match up the start line to marry those together, build that visual, put it together, figure out what's the most efficient handle path travel to create that result, and sit here and just practice this process as much as you can. The better you get at this process, it's a little aggressive, tap the shaft harder than I want, so I kind of beat myself up on that one. Come back, now we're going to 20 feet. But I like you having this varying distance in practice. Don't let yourself sit there and hit that 5-footer over and over and over again. Again, I don't mind that for a warm-up, but I don't think you learn much. I really like you going 5, 10, 20, 40, and then start it back over, maybe on a different putt, a different line, different break, some downhill, some right to left, some left to right. Again, really vary the practice up, but this is what it's all about. This process is really what you're practicing, like a great free throw shooter. What do they do? What's the process they do before every free throw? And it looks the same, the timing of it the same. And I want you to kind of have the same skill set here. You're getting behind it. We have this consistent speed. We're always visualizing the ball's gonna roll out past the cup, stop somewhere around 1.5 feet, 2 feet past the cup. I always want that visual, that speed, no matter if I'm hitting it from 5 feet or 50 feet. Still want the same speed, and that allows me to get a consistency and match up, okay, based on that speed, now I can really see my entry line. I think it's gonna be this direction. Now once I have that entry line down, now I'm gonna back it out and really marry the start line based on that entry line and speed, and take my time to really connect those dots, get those visuals matched up. Once I have those visuals matched up, get behind it, and I'm gonna sit here and be soft enough and patient enough where I can really get some spatial awareness of the handle, how much it needs to travel to comfortably create that speed. And let's see how well I match this one up. All right, now let's work on the 40-footer. Same process. Get behind it, look at the line, get a visual for what you're looking at. walk up, we still have this consistent speed. Even from 40 feet, I'm still looking for a perfect speed of a 1.5 feet, 2 feet past the cup. That's a consistency no matter what. Now I'm gonna get behind it, match up my entry line. Now I really gotta look, I'm kind of over a crown, uphill, slightly downhill at the end. It's gonna be the same break, but I'm gonna have to accentuate it a little bit more. I'm really kind of matching up and visualize again, based on this perfect speed, what's my entry line? Once I have that entry line, I'll back it back out. I think walking this too just gives me a better kind of perception of the distance that I'm going to. Out. Again, take your time. Really figure out how to match these things up. See the ball rolling. I really visualize the ball rolling, leaving the club head. And then from there, match up the speed. I feel like I killed that. Try that again. Eyes up, look down the line. That felt better. Still a little aggressive, but not bad. But I think it's really important. Again, this process is important. Really focusing again on the handle more than the head. I think that idea gives you a lot more control of the club head. I think the minute you start trying to control the club head, it's like carrying a bowl of hot soup that's filled to the lid. As soon as you start looking at it, you start spilling it everywhere. You look straight ahead and just focus on where you're going. It makes it a lot easier to actually control your mechanics. So when you're doing this, I always want your eyes up, eyes up, eyes up. I want you feeling, again, visualizing how much the handle needs to move for each particular putt. You can close your eyes to even do this. Like set up here, have your eyes look at the hole, then start to close it. Really get a spatial awareness of how the handle's moving, how you feel the weight of the head in relation to that handle, and feel like you're looking down the line and you're just kind of rolling it down that line. If you can get more control of this head, by visualizing more externally, more out towards the target and what you're doing, it's gonna make your life controlling the putter a lot easier. Let's start to practice this process. Let's start to visualize a lot better and have a consistency to the process, and your life on the green is gonna get a lot easier.